You know, I really need to think of. You know, I really need to think of things that I can do to make my channel stand out now that I've got 250 of you watching me, so I'm gonna try and think of an intro that I can sing and do and dance. Maybe then let's go! Itadakimasu, it's time for me to stream.
Isaac and his mother lived alone in a small house on a hill. Isaac kept to himself, drawing pictures and playing with his toys as his mom watched Christian broadcasts on the television.
And yes, we're on Isaac channel right now until I get bored of Isaac and switch to another thing. We're going to be probably completing Echoes of Wisdom at some point. Who knows when that is. Okay, let's see. Got all of your stuff. We don't have Lazarus Mega Satan. Immediately not having a lot, so. No, I don't want greedier mode for them. Let's see. Hard mode. Mega Satan time. Right now I have a streak, so I want to keep that. Duh, there's the tinted rock. Wait a minute, I could have just done the Lost.
Feels like I'm walking on sunshine.
Pyromaniac run. Ah! Yeah, yeah. Oh yeah, what was in here again? Oh yeah, Spider Mod. I have a scythe! Scythe!
My shit.
Give me that shit.
I didn't say you could take it.
I am researching Forgotten. Let's see. Okay, so the knife is a +4. That's cool. You took my reason for being here and ruined it. Good job, boss. .9 damage constantly. Of course, it was just temperance.
Yeah!
Not.
Oh!
Not.
Well, a flat damage multiplier is always fun. That's crazy. This one canine is still being approved. This is also a canine. It's still a little rounded, but it's still pointy like a canine. And just, the psychology of it is insane to me. That's just like the feeling of having a feature that lets you learn from these cultures where you're incisors, not being like incisors. It's just very weird. And I've also got some emotions on the soft skin. Because now I don't need to be constantly worried about what people are thinking about my teeth or how bad do I let them get. Anyway, as for the whole proof that I am probably the size of Banjo, when I do this, I still have Banjo. I just have much longer limbs. But I know for a fact that when Banjo dies.
There's a picture of it. Trying to get a better angle.
It's more round and sphere shape, but if you had the man moves, it would look like that it is a little bit, but it's also, like I said, I am taller. With the freakishly lengthy, with freakishly long arms and tall limbs and stuff, so. Fun times there. So, yeah, you're looking at U of I then?
I'm looking at what?
So,
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, my brother's fiance went there. She got a lot of
Pretty fly. Bombs are key.
show you my real.
Shoot. I failed.
I'm playing Binding of Isaac with a Sonic
Yeah,
Music
not bad.
mod. That's why.
Oh, I see.
No, I don't want the Satanic Bible. Anyway. So... Okay, so let's see. Musical intro has the outside the mansion. Okay, so the intro for the video. I also have like...
Give me a second.
Yeah.
Ugh.
Wait, continue.
Okay. Let me hit the mute button on this. The game is constantly resetting itself so that I can get a good starting item. There we go. Okay. So just imagine these musical cues as we're going. Or no. Should I just play the soundtrack for the video while I'm reading this, or should I just let you imagine?
I can imagine it.
Okay. So the opening music is going to be the Outside the Mansion theme from Luigi's Mansion, which is like that.
Oh, yeah.
That sort of spooky thing, and then I'm like, spooky month, and then it says in parentheses ramble, but I improvised and was like, a time when ghost ghouls and goblins come out into the open and we celebrate all things spooky. A time for costumes and candy and all sorts of fun horror movies and content creators making top 10s about scary things. Not a fun time to be me because I'm not a fan of the horror genre. It's just not my thing. Anyway, when you hear horror game, what comes to mind? The undead? A dark, spooky atmosphere? How about unbeatable enemies you just have to run from because your weapons are ineffective? A time crunch to just barely escape death? Or maybe you're more interested in psychological horror, like jump scares and turning childhood toys into creepy caricatures out to get you. Maybe a game doesn't need any of these to inspire fear in you. Maybe you just need someplace high or unfathomable deep water that hides your nightmares within. By the way, I'm still getting used to talking with Crown, so if I mumble or stutter, that's why.
Oh, okay.
Yes, the things that go bump in the night are numerous and diverse. Just as diverse as the N64 library. Or just as diverse as the N64 library. There's certainly plenty of nostalgia baked into that little black box, or in some cases, translucent green. Cozy adventures with your friends, or cozy adventures with your favorite mascots from your favorite childhood company. But over the years, that same nostalgia has become a weapon against us. Whether it's the Mario iceberg, some creepypasta about that statue in Majora's Mask, or something else that has come up to cast a shadow on those pleasant memories that might make you ask yourself if you really played the same game you remember. The Nintendo 64's legacy is becoming one of mystery and intrigue. It's not a secret that most games back then had the occasional scary bit here and there to build suspense or break the flow. Examples I can immediately recall are Big Boo's Haunt in Mario 64, Mad Monster Mansion in Banjo-Kazooie. Heck, there's a whole Paper Mario chapter in a spooky forest with a ghost-filled Boo Mansion. There was also Creepy Castle in Donkey Kong 64. And Fungi Forest at night. Crystal Caves is also a thrilling level, and the Kosho would start making stony death rain down from above. And that spooky factory level with the rejected Jack-in-the-Box, and the deep soul-crushing depths of that water level. You can probably see where I'm going with this. Over the years, Donkey Kong 64 has earned a reputation of infamy by completionists who seem to think that they need to collect literally everything, when all you need is enough golden bananas to open a gate, and then enough bananas to make a hippo fat enough to push a pig to a key. Everything else...
To add that feederism.
It's because it's a core mechanic of the game. It is.
Any time to add it, you're gonna add it.
It's a core mechanic of the game, damn it.
Well, to be fair, anytime Rare has anything fat related, they're gonna add it too.
Yeah, they also do a really damn good job at it too, especially in Conker's Bad Fur Day. They did it twice. Usually to a violent end, unfortunately, but yeah. Anyway. You keep that back, that's fish, blah, blah, blah. Everything else is optional, and you have the freedom to collect whatever you want and to ignore a large chunk of it. That said, when you're not focused on getting everything in the soul-crushing amount of stuff to get, you start to see the game as a game rather than a chore. And that's when you start to notice something's amiss. Once the tunnel vision is gone, you start to see the level design, the atmosphere, the things that go bump that you disregarded in your pursuit of completion. And even if you already noticed some of it, your single-minded pursuit of the next shiny MacGuffin and the rage at some of the later stages of the game was enough to let you ignore it. Once you peel away the surface of this cutesy game about monkeys collecting bananas, get the banana pun, you get its true identity. Donkey Kong 64 is a horror game to its very core. And then an interlude showing...
Can I
Yes.
leave a note? I feel like it's a very long intro. you, it took a little while to get to your thesis.
I know. I had to warm up the audience with the whole Spooky Month prologue.
Oh no, yeah, I get that. That part I think is fine.
Yeah.
I think you just need to trim it here and there, but I think
Fair enough. The main...
worded is fine.
Where it
You just
actually
need to trim it.
begin... Yeah, where the actual paper would begin without the preamble would be over the years Donkey Kong 64 has earned a reputation of infamy.
If I would make a note or a tip, try to get to your thesis in under a minute.
Okay.
Because most people don't have the great attention span.
Fair enough. But that's also why, actually, I'm going to listen to all of your feedback. I'm definitely listening to it and observing it. Because
So
there's still...
You could probably also move your thesis statement a little more closer and still talk about it, but that will require a little more finesse. But currently it sounds fine. Yeah, there's no weird like wording or anything. Maybe like decrease, like dumb it down a bit more.
Okay.
But other than that, that's fine.
By the way, the entire time I was writing this, I was listening to it in my head from the perspective of the YouTuber Rabid Luigi doing a top 10 or something.
I had that feeling too.
I'm emulating that. I emulate things really well. I'm like Weird Al Yankovic when I want to parody something. And this is supposed to be a parody of his verboseness, I believe. I don't know. Anyway. And then here's the interlude showing a brief montage of the scary things in the game while Mad Jack Boss theme plays, which, I mean, that's a good one to play because of the creepy laughter in it. Anyway. I know what you were thinking, and then this is a cleverly inserted, one of those cleverly inserted plugs, but I know what you were thinking here, and I can assure you, I'm not crazy, so sit back, relax, and comment why I'm wrong before you've even heard my explanation. Show of hands, how many people, this is literally just a plug for liking, commenting, and subscribing that I tried to be creative with, by the way. Show of hands, how many people dream in Rareware? Like the video if you do. The vast majority of my dreams take place in a spectacular open-world Rare platformer. And a lot of them are nightmares that end with fighting the goddamn Jack-in-the-Box from Frantic Factory.
And I also make a note.
Yes?
If you self-deprecate yourself, I think you'd be like, oh, that's funny. Like saying, because you said you often dream of a rare open world.
Yeah.
You can say like, maybe not the most healthiest dream, or something to that extent.
Okay, that's a good way. Insert some self-deprecation. I'm adding the note there.
Yeah. In like a fun way, obviously.
Yeah.
You don't want to make it a little depressing.
Oh yeah.
And I like Scott the Waz.
I'm emulating a lot of these video essay YouTubers. But that's a good one. If I'm making you think of these people, that means some people will be engaged and actually watch the video. It just needs to be edited properly and have a few changes here and there to the script. Blah blah blah. Spectacular open world rare platformer, and a lot of them are nightmares of them with fighting the goddamn Jack-in-the-Box from Frantic Factory, or climbing that epic moody haunted castle. Bottom line, the game has impacted me so deeply in such a creepy way that when I played a DK64 randomizer with max settings and decoupled entrances, it actually made me feel so unnerved I felt nauseated. Tangent aside, subscribe to catch me streaming almost daily. Now, with the obligatory plug out of the way, you're still probably shaking your head and think I'm crazy when I say those words in that order. And then the clip from SpongeBob of him being like, no one can say those words in that order. And then I'm like, but yes, it is indeed a horror game. Every level, even the hub, has something creepy. Even the premise of the game is creepy. And then I just have a thing that says brief synopsis of the plot here, which is just me being like, in the opening in the game, or blah, I have been why do I have these improvised line sections? They're supposed to make it sound more organic, but they just make it hard to do right. Brief synopsis of the plot would be just insert a brief synopsis. Pretend I'm saying a brief synopsis of what DK64 is and how K. Rool has crashed a death laser on the shores of DK Isles and kidnapped all your friends and plans to obliterate you because he's gone crazy from being defeated so many times. And then the whole getting the keys and stuff. Anyway, having a looming death laser in the hub world of all times is totally par for the course for a lighthearted collectathon, right? That's just how it starts. That same death laser is a part of the hub world containing 3 of the main levels. And as if the giant crocodile-shaped ship wasn't ominous enough on its own, for some reason it had to have a perpetual thunderstorm on it. You come here at least 8 times through your quest to stop K. Rool, and each time it's still dark and moody. The rain isn't exactly creepy by itself. How about rain in a bright, sunny jungle? And then we got a brief montage of the opening of Jungle Japes and some stuff from that, with the Jungle Japes theme now playing. Jungle Japes is a Donkey Kong staple. At the time of DK64, it was the Green Hill Zone of sorts, or it was his Green Hill Zone of sorts. In this stage, there are several caves to wander, with basic cave features and cave music. Several of these caves are connected and have several collectibles and enemies. Here you rescue Diddy, some sort of clip of a bunch of people booing because Diddy joke. And then I say Kong, and then a clip of the Avatar scene where they're like, oh, okay, I guess we'll take that. Because why not have all those creative little cutaways there?
I think the pace would get interrupted. It'd be kind of weird.
It's meant to be jarring, though.
Huh?
It's a joke. It's a joke that's meant to be jarring.
I would when you edit, like, ask people how it feels when they watch it, because I feel like that could be a bit too jarring.
Oh, don't worry. I'll have you watch the actual video once it's ready. Then, thank you for volunteering your services, Daniel.
You could ask.
I mean, would you mind doing that?
I don't mind as long as you ask.
Thank you.
You don't have to be Sheldon. I've been watching Sheldon. So.
You've been watching Big Bang Theory stuff?
No, young Sheldon.
Fun. So you can tell that I'm basically Sheldon, right?
In some ways.
I'm Sheldon, but I have slightly less social awkwardness, I guess.
I won't say in what ways.
Say in what ways I am Sheldon, in what ways I am not.
I don't know. It could be mean.
It's not mean. I take it as like a lighthearted thing. We're monkeys on a rock in space that's trapped floating around a giant explosion that's in slow motion. I don't really take criticism bad. I don't take that kind of criticism that bad. I have better things to worry about. But it also helps with my psychoanalysis of myself. Anyway. Here you rescue Diddy, insert the joke, Kong, and that unlocks the caves. So you're now able to explore the level and what awaits you at the end of the central tunnel. A dark, stormy, perpetually nighttime clearing with giant beavers and its own dark rendition of the theme. But that's just one of several parts of this jungle level that might give you the willies. There's also the minecart level, which is more exciting than scary, but still freaking terrifying. And the weird buried shrine with a flaming gargoyle statue that needs its eyes shot out to get a golden banana. Speaking of shrines, the next level has several. Montage of Angry Aztec. Arguably the least scary level atmospherically, the desert stage of this game is basically 2 main chambers connected by a tunnel with a bunch of temples. And although the level is more benign, it still holds a few dark secrets. Well, not really secrets, and not even exclusive to the level. This sounded better on paper, and then the "Oh brother, this guy stinks" line from SpongeBob. Anyway, to keep it brief, how are you with heights? Because this level is where you learn how to traumatize Donkey Kong with the barrel sections, since the last levels was optional and likely missed. It also introduces claptraps that have jaws that chase you after you kill them, with a little esophagus dangling off of them for some reason. There's also a few temples to delve into with each Kong, and while none of them are particularly eerie, one has potential to give you quite a fright. Enter this temple and make your way to the banana, navigating the corridors, shooting the switches, and there's your prize. Grab it and
Get out!
there's the cut to the get out jump scare because it's a funny thing to throw in there, and it'll be amplified.
Are you gonna save this video for next year?
I don't know if I should save it for next year at this point.
I mean, you could.
Hey, it's still close enough to spooky season. Also, we all are living in horrible fear right now as it is.
No, I would suggest waiting for it to be until Halloween because it gives more
Halloween vibes?
Yeah, it gives Halloween vibe, but also you'll have it done and you'll probably get more motivation to continue doing videos. And it could be like a backlog. You can have some that's backlogged. You can also have some that are not contemporary, so you could just post them.
Okay, I shall leave it to a coin flip.
Okay.
I might release a version of it and then a remastered version next Halloween.
I wouldn't do that.
Fair enough.
I would do something else at that point, and I would suggest doing it during September.
Right.
So you can have time to finish it on October.
Right. I kind of waited till the very last minute to start even doing this. Even though it's been an idea I've had for ages. Anyway.
I wanted to be a YouTuber for like over 10 years now.
Something like that, and I'm actually finally making my first edited video. Hooray!
Yeah, you weigh more than the amount of subscribers you have.
Not for long, I have 257.
Maybe that's the key. Maybe you need more subscribers and then you will gain more weight.
Who knows? Anyway, continuing the focus group testing. And then, so of course, you know the whole Get Out voice, right? You remember that? You remember Croc?
Yes.
And how that random reticle just goes onto the screen and the whole the deep, loud voice is just like, get out.
No, I remember it very vividly.
Anyway. And then I'm like, are you sure this isn't a dk.exe ROM hack? Yeah, that cold sweat and jump scare as a reticle and countdown to escape the long maze of tunnels in time or get shot definitely gave a lot of people nightmares. But that's really all this stage has to offer as far as horror goes. Unlike the next stage, which gives Banjo-Tooie level design a run for its money. Cut to the Frantic Factory montage because Frantic Factory. And this is the biggest paragraph of all of them, of course. Other than Creepy Castle, of course, I think. Anyway. Frantic Factory. One of a match set of 2 stages you get from beating Dogadon. This is the first level that I'd classify as purely belonging in horror. An eerie, labyrinthine toy factory where everything is trying to kill you. You're greeted in the entrance of the level by these invincible wind-up Kremling robots with glowing red eyes. They make eerie noises as they approach and can only be dispatched by explosives. But only until they respawn like every other enemy in this game. Going further into the stage, the level design isn't creepy per se, it's atmospheric. Dark metallic corridors make sense considering the entrance to this level is inside K. Rool's ship. As you explore deeper, you learn there's several floors to the factory. Of note to this video, you have a very tall manufacturing floor with the epic-sounding remix of the level theme, with a lot of high-up platforming challenges that can invoke a fear of heights if you have it. The R&D floor with a very digital-sounding remix of the theme, which has a bunch of Kong-specific doors with interesting challenges in it. Of note for this one is the toy box Chunky has to punch. And the main floors. The real show stealer of this level, however, is the theme. The minimalist composition by Grant Kirkhope is responsible for turning metallic hallways and piles of toys into the eerie horror it is. The music box leads the piece, eerily winding up. By the way, when I did the recording and all the other stuff before doing any of the editing, that actually lined up with the music box winding up for the, this part actually lined up with the soundtrack unintentionally, so that's hilarious. The music box leads the piece, eerily winding up as the first sound you hear upon entering. And throughout the piece, every time it returns, it's wound up. Every time except the one right before it loops. The box comes to life spontaneously, playing the motif of the song, and whether you realize it or not, when it does that, you subconsciously notice and it puts you slightly on edge. Brilliant composition by a brilliant Brit who gave us the DK rap. Now, you've made it through the level, you've gotten all your bananas, you gave the hippo diabetes, and now Tiny Kong's face is on the boss door. So you enter the room, and it's like a disco floor. Blue and white lights flashing in neat patterns, and as you approach, a single platform stays lit, inviting you to step on it. Suddenly, the lights rise as pillars, and out of the chute in the ceiling drops a jack-in-the-box. It hops over to you, octuples in size, and a freaky Donald Duck-voiced gator with dreads and a piercing red eye pops up and says and roars at you. Now you're being chased by the box as it tries to smash you, forcing you to jump pillar to pillar until it stops and tries throwing fireballs at you, while you scramble to find the switch with the corresponding color to the platform he's on. At first it's lit up, but after a few times it's dark, like the rest of the not recently landed on platforms. And Mad Jack will also start shooting lasers where you're about to land that essentially nuke the platform. If said platform has the button on it, you might not make it in time. And for Phase 3, he turns invisible. You only have the sparkles and lit platforms telling you where the now sped up invisible psychotic killer Jack-in-the-Box is as he pursues you. The fight is one of the coolest and most terrifying boss fights ever, mechanically, let alone for the N64. Unfortunately, can't say the same about the next one, as we still have another key to get before the next set. Then we do the Gloomy Galleon montage. Gloomy Galleon is kind of like the, probably one of the least scary levels in the game, except for if you have Thalassophobia. Anyway. Gloomy Galleon montage. If Thalassophobia had a physical form in a Donkey Kong game, this would be it. Like Angry Aztec, it's not inherently creepy, but it edges it out due to being a massive deep water level. This one, aside from the obvious deep water, has sunken ship segments with a side of darkness, complete with pirate skeleton decorations. And a giant mechanical fish. The boss arena is similarly atmospheric, but rather uninspired otherwise, and the ship by the lighthouse might count, but the beautiful design of the depths make the creepiness melt away just a little. Fun fact, did you know that if you got the sniper scope before you did the mechanical fish, the lag caused by it makes it impossible to do the fish? The next level is Fungi Forest. Fungi Forest, looks pretty unassuming at first glance. Excuse me. A picturesque forest full of giant bouncy mushrooms and a big cuckoo clock in the central room. Some unassuming cabin, a thorn maze, another rainy area with invincible killer tomatoes, a haunted castle minecart ride, and a well. Giant mushroom in the climbing section. Oh, and the gimmick of the stage is the clock. You can change the bright, sunny, cheery forest to the dark, creepy woods and open up some sections of the level previously blocked by a moon gate, including a giant spider boss. Ironically, fought by the same Kong who fought the Jack-in-the-Box earlier. Why it's the youngest one being put in all the scary situations so much. The level also introduces skeleton Kremling enemies that can take multiple hits and swing their bones at you. Speaking of swinging, remember Gloomy Galleon? I neglected to mention the Kosha enemies. They have always been cute to me with their tiny body and helmets. The big spike clubs are like 3 times their size. Their adorable high-pitched voices. They're just... Wait, what was I talking about? Oh, right. Montage of Crystal Caves. This level, that music, listen to how relaxing it is. That crystal theming, it's a peaceful ice cave. The areas are a little samey. It's got some castle, a bunch of cabins, an igloo, and then, of course, the music cuts out to the giant Kosha that smacks the stuff anyway. That thing every few seconds will start smacking his club, changing the music and causing rocks to fall on you. The mood whiplash can jump scare and unnerve you on your first visit, and having to worry about that thing every so often randomly raining spike death upon you definitely makes it a little unsettling. Speaking of jump scaring, in the creepy decrepit cabin you can get out! Cut to another scene of the get out thing. Because, like, another jump scare, because that's another thing in the level. And the beauty of this level hides some spinning spike maze and a bunch of other dangerous obstacles that wouldn't be out of place in a Resident Evil game. But the biggest thing that makes this level scary is that stupid giant Kosha. Sure, you can kill him and stop the rockfall, but it requires exploring enough to find the way to get to him and kill him. Tiny once again has that responsibility, of course. And another thing about the Kosha, the one creepy thing about them, when they die, they drop their club, crushing their head. The bosses of this pair of levels were rematches of the first 2 bosses, but aside from some new weapons and a deathmatch slowly sinking into lava with a pissed-off dragonfly, nothing too fancy or frightening. K-Rool might be running out of bosses to throw at you at this point, and the next level confirms this. Cue the creepy castle montage. Remember that inconspicuous giant rock next to K. Rool's ship? Whenever you swim near it, the lighting gets even darker and the lightning goes crazy. Upon giving K. Lumsey the fifth key, I have to rewrite this after I change the script once I realize that Fungi Forest is what unlocks Crystal Caves and Creepy Castle. Anyway, the giant rock explodes, revealing a giant barrel cannon. The ominousness of the environment when you get in and get shot into the sky above K. Rool's ship is nothing compared to the scene of the lobby. An organ dirge drones, and a lone piano plays a hollow version of the DKIL motif. The environment looks like a medieval dungeon with an acid moat, and after paying the entrance fee, you enter the world. A large full moon, rain and thunder, and a creepy theme on the piano plays as you climb the cliff and wind up in front of a massive castle. The best level in the game with the best partitioning of Kong sections, this level is literally a horror level. Skeleton and ghost enemies, giant haunted halls, greenhouses with get out! Because it's another instance where Croc is in the game, and of course, why not take advantage of the fact that they can just randomly throw jump scares at people like that? Anyway. And all of this macabre environment scored by various creepy variants of the motif. There's also a tree that has a well in it, some ghostly poison sewer crypt that has a bunch of skeletons and bones lining it, a library with a creepy library, a ballroom, a mysterious room with a pillar that doesn't do anything and baffles gamers to this day, because it had something to do with stop and swap probably, but it's just there and no one knows what it does, and some of the hardest versions of minigames in the entire game. By the end of the game, that bonus barrel theme will give you anxiety attacks. You also need to have 400 bananas for your favorite gluttonous hippo and pig duo. By the way, the pig has nipple piercings for some reason. Seriously, I know whoever... Yes. Seriously, I know whoever wrote them and knew what they were doing, with an emoji of my knowing look sticker. The scariest minecart section of the game is also here, complete with a giant undead ghost gator chase sequence. Tell me how, other than not experiencing this, it did not traumatize you. Maybe because the boss is literally cardboard cut out of K. Rool that the Kremlings threw together after running out of actual bosses. The fight is unnerving and you can lose Kongs, but it's also rather humorous, and after beating it, they just throw the key at you and run away. The final level is a heist to break into K. Rool's lair and take the last key, stopping the Blastomatic that has been looming over you for your entire adventure. And if you've made it that far, you already know about the blueprints, and that's great for a review, but this isn't a review. This is why DK64 is a horror game. I'm sure you're seeing the game in a different light than when I first said that, and if not, tell me why in the comments. I grew up with the game, and I always avoided the latter half of the game because it just got too scary for me. And it always seemed like I'd reach those levels at night for some reason. And while games like Luigi's Mansion wear horror on their sleeves, you can't argue against the fact that DK64, beyond the initial banana peel, is hiding some pretty creepy stuff. And then some sort of outro video. And then an outro segment where I'm like, this was my first big scripted production, and while writing, I kept reading it in Rabid Luigi's voice in my head. Put some real effort in and would love some feedback in the comments. Hopefully you enjoyed this video, and maybe I can make more like it in the future. So don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more. See you next time. Get out!
That one's kind of funny.
Yeah, you weren't expecting that one, were you? Actually, none of them were expected. But how did I do? How is the script? What other improvements do you have or recommendations? Was it engaging?
I think it was pretty good. I think it would be better with the visuals, for
Yeah.
sure.
That's the part that's taking the longest, is syncing all the visuals, getting all the clips, and getting mostly all the clips for the opening sequence. Currently, when I start mentioning Undead, it has one of those zombie squirrels rising from Conker's Bad Fur Day.
I would highly recommend on piecing the different paragraphs, so you have a better way to influx your voice when needed. There's like
I was reading it for speed this time, I think.
No, yeah, I understand that. But I just wanted to point that out.
Yeah, I could tell there were some run-on sentences that were making me have to be like...
No, yeah. But I was just mentioning it as a strategy to only go into pieces to be able to influx your voice
Right.
better when it's in certain areas.
Right,
Other
basically
than
give
that,
it
I
a
think it's
rhythm.
fine.
Thank you. And I don't think I did too much of the whole hippo and pig thing. I mean, that's literally one of the core mechanics of the game.
No, I was just making fun of you on that.
Oh, I know you were. But also at the same time, when I mentioned the whole nipple piercings thing, you can't ignore the fact that I'm mentioning that they have nipple piercings. You did know they had nipple piercings, right?
I don't remember that part, honestly.
I'll just show you a picture of Trop and Scoff then.
Oh, okay.
Because seriously... Let's see, where is there... Where's this one? But here's here's their official render versus their in-game model. The one on the right is the official render that is used for promotional material. And the one on the left is how they actually are in-game. Oh, you showed me Kazooie-Vor, or Banjo-Kazooie-Vor. I didn't see that one. Why didn't I see that one?
That's why I asked you.
Yeah, literally, they have nipple rings.
I don't see the picture you sent.
Oh, it's still sending, I guess, for some reason. Why is it still sending? Come on, send faster. Where did you even find Banjo-Kazooie-Vor? Oh wait, no, that's not Vor, that's just him grabbing his fat.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
It looks like Kazooie trying to poke out.
I just put Fat Banjo.
I have a feeling that Novel AI can make Banjo do that.
What do you mean?
You know how I have the AI that can generate images and stuff.
Oh, I mean, you can try.
It can do Tails and Chopper really well for some reason. And recently, it's mastered sequences. Hello, Firefox!
Oh, you've been
I have
streaming
not
this
been
whole entire time?
streaming I've been streaming the whole time, but not streaming you.
Oh, okay. What about our conversation?
Yes, the whole script, the whole conversation with that. I muted it for the politics stuff, though. Even though I'm open about that stuff, and all of my foreign viewers are very sympathetic to our situation. When that's the situation that you're faced with, you know everything is screwed. It's when the people outside the country looking in are wondering what the hell is going wrong.
Oh, you're also streaming it on Twitch. I was looking at it on your YouTube.
I'm streaming across multiple platforms simultaneously. Maybe that will send it faster? Why does this one picture not want to send? Give it a sec. I might glitch out a little there because reconnecting to my internet. Come on. Well, I'll just let it send as slowly as possible.
I'm just tired. What time is it for you, actually?
1:46. Turns out, being a poll worker and being comatose from the time frame of getting home to 4 a.m., waking up, and driving back to your house, and then basically turns out being a poll worker makes you sleep the entire day after.
Do you want to read my lore?
Read it to
my
me.
Personal. Okay. Godparents one. That one's
Oh, sorry, I had to mute my thing because I'm talking with a friend. Keep watching. Ooh, Firefox. Also, hello, operator. That is
Story
an
of
interesting.
Isaac.
Yep, that's always a fun one. But yeah, there were more than just those ones.
No, yeah, I was just saying that though. I just remember it being everywhere.
But there were several that weren't
assuming...
PSAs.
It was. I think they did it in a way for a PSA.
Oh no, there were several that weren't PSAs. Like
so.
the ones from Camp Laszlo.
Parents one wasn't really one.
The Camp Laszlo had 2 of them, and that weren't PSAs. It was just actually no, they had 3 or 4 instances of it.
Camp Laszlo has them.
Yes.
I don't remember.
Do you not remember never being on a map where they make Scott Master Olympus eat the steak with the growth hormones?
I do not.
You don't remember? Really must be the growth hormones. You don't remember the scene where the steak grows and he's like, "Must be the growth hormones." Growth hormones? Oh no! And then the steak he already ate expands in him. There's also the one where Edward was trying to teach Laszlo how to burp and ended up bloated from soda. There was the one.
Was that an entire plot though?
That was like not the entire plot, but it was a gag for it. There was also
the gags are like a different though. The gags like those are.
The gag was not the entire plot, but the scenes lasted way more than a few scenes. So, like, it could be a gag, but it also lasted for quite a while in the show.
I don't know. I would argue that wouldn't be classified as one.
But yeah, then there's also the one where he and Laszlo accidentally get the wrong medical results, and he ends up finding a lardadoodle bird that ends up treating him like the baby, and then fattens him up for some reason at the end, because, like, the lard...
Oh, I remember... What was it called? My gym partner was a monkey.
Yep, chew on this. It was a fun one, and I think it was the second episode that aired, and that was just because Adam wanted to have human food.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
One Size Fits Ed from Ed, Edd n Eddy is a classic.
I don't remember that one.
That one was the one where they turned Jimmy into a sumo wrestler.
Oh, I guess that one counts.
That one counts. Like, yeah, there was also the episode Weight Gaining from Mucha Lucha.
Oh, I remember that one.
And then...
I guess those weren't really PSAs. Those were more like just the plot of it.
Yeah, they were just Weight Gain episodes. Every show in that time period had at least one as far as cartoons went.
I wonder why. That's kind of weird.
I'm still trying to figure out the connection to it. That would make a great conspiracy video of some kind. Because seriously, they also had the Totally Spies Passion Patties episode. They had.
Oh, I heard that someone made a video stating that everything
in Totally Spies is kink.
In Totally Spies is a kink thing.
Yeah, someone did that. It's got a reputation as a fetish show now, and it's hilarious. But someone also did another counter video that was like, actually, technically, it wasn't all that. But then they critiqued a bunch of episodes for it. I commented on and had a discussion in the comment section of the author of that video, which was an interesting one. Hopefully they'd look into that more. There's also the Johnny Bravo episode, Jumbo Johnny, which he drinks a muscle supplement that turns him into a 50-foot fat ass.
Oh,
that's a fun one. Can't necessarily think of one for Powerpuff Girls or Dexter's Laboratory.
Powerpuff Girls had any of that.
Dr. Fetus with the Forgotten. I love this combo. Look what the synergy does.
Your live stream is kind of being funky. Oh, now it's back. Okay.
Look at this. I can throw the bombs now.
Oh, nice.
Which is useful.
It's midnight.
Continuing the conversation, though, there's also numerous Tom and Jerry specials that had it. There's the entire Tex Avery.
That's just classics.
Yeah, there's the entire Tex Avery King Size Canary short.
In terms of like those type of old fashioned, in terms of Looney Tunes and Tom and Jerry, those are very abundant. And I think it's just classic. What should we call it? Cartoon humor.
It's a trope.
Yeah, it's essentially a trope, yeah.
It's a trope, first and foremost. That's why when I see people saying that fan art that has plus-size characters or weight gain in it belongs in the same folder as sex things, instead of being able to be nuanced with the execution of it, for the art challenge that I had to do for October, I was able to do a nuanced execution of it that treats it as a trope before it treats it as a kink. And also, it had a nice plot to it as well. And some of my best face work, honestly.
You just have unlimited bombs?
Yeah. Dr. Fetus turns your tears into bombs. So, having Dr. Fetus as the Forgotten, really good, because I can just throw these bombs everywhere. Let's see, though. There's also the whole Lilo and Stitch French Fry episode, but that was a PSA.
Oh yeah, that's true. Yeah, that was for sure a PSA. The Kim Possible one was for sure a PSA one.
He even made a joke about it at the end. About falling into vats of chemicals and stuff. And everyone's just wondering who the hell he's talking to in the camera.
Oh yeah, I remember that. That was funny.
Fourth wall breaks. Let's see. There's also Sumo Enchanted Evening for Cat Dog. There were so many of them that...
I think maybe it was like a precursor the trope of the inflation trope of old cartoons that just happened to lead to the newer cartoons of the time.
There was also a time. So, do you want to know how prevalent it was, though? It was so prevalent that Cartoon Network had a Thanksgiving special at one point that was basically just episodes where characters were getting fat.
Really? I don't remember that at all.
It was when they were really little. It was back when CartoonNetwork.com still had collectible PNGs of the characters. And they had a whole series of them.
How old are you again, DJ?
27.
27? Okay, so I'm 1 year older than you.
Yeah. But yeah, there was a special back sometime, I think around 2003 or 4.
I can see it.
And there was a time when they had, like, unlockable PNGs of the characters and stuff that kind of were like online trading cards, but not really, because they're just collecting them for whatever reason. Like a Cartoon Network Clubhouse type thing or whatever, that you could like make images and stuff with. And for some reason, the ones that they released a set of the ones just snapshots of the weight gain scenes that you could collect. There was a Ricochet one right from the middle of the montage. It was kind of hilarious to see that, and in retrospect, I wonder, what were they thinking? Because people who do these things can't have not known what they were doing at the time.
It's curious, for sure.
Which goes back to the whole discussion of the fact that there's a lot of weight gain stuff in rare games.
I guess that makes sense, because, like, it could be like a British joke, too, because they have a lot of British joke themes.
I mean, that could be a British thing.
Yeah, it could be like, well, I don't know.
What do you think? Comment in the comments below.
I think, because I know I've heard of Japanese culture or some Asian cultures would well, I guess in Japanese culture, at least what I've heard is that they would kind of poke fun of it, but as a way to like as a joke in a sense, but also to point like, hey, you need to get healthy. While others,
They actually sell calorie powder in Japan because no one can gain weight in Japan. Did you know that?
is not.
I want some Japanese vitamin drink right now. That was such a good drink. It wasn't even a drink, it was like gel. The Waiter multivitamin pouch stuff. I just took out all of those with one move. Because not only do you throw the bomb, it also has a projectile hitbox. And that can wipe out things really quickly.
How are you doing, woo-woo Firefox? I feel like we're just ignoring chat.
We're not just ignoring chat. And you can chat too, you're one of my mods.
Oh, I mean, every time I watch you, you kind of like. I don't spend too much time because I'm usually just.
I'm background noise, I know.
Yeah.
Ask again though, because like you were in the middle of a commercial break when you asked that.
Oh.
Oh, I'm just vibing. When are we going to get game night again? I want to do game night again. I miss Baldur's Gate.
We're not gonna play Baldur's Gate. We finished it.
I know, I'm saying... I'm not saying play Baldur's Gate, I'm saying I just miss having people to play with again.
Oh, I mean, I don't know what other games to play.
Borderlands!
I don't want to play Borderlands. I don't want a pew-pew game. We don't want a pew-pew game.
It's not the simple pew-pew game.
It's a pew-pew game. We don't want pew-pew game.
But it's not a simple pew-pew game. It's a pew-pew game, but it's an RPG pew-pew game.
Firefox is literally in,
Ad purgatory?
Wind just said, freaking ads.
Why would there be 8 ads?
That's crazy. Who would put 8 ads? That's crazy.
I don't know, but I'm incentivized to have at least 3 minutes of ads every hour.
No, I feel like if you do ads, you should be like at least like a minute.
Yeah, I'm incentivized to do...
A minute, rather.
I am incentivized by the way the algorithm works in the software to do... Hey, Mario ads! Perfect! Thank you, Nintendo, for advertising on my channel. I appreciate it.
Oh, interesting.
I like Nintendo. But yeah, the big thing about the Nintendo, or the big thing about the ads, though, is Twitch, if you have 3 minutes of ads at least every hour scheduled, you end up getting at least a 55% bump in ad revenue, which, considering it's a pittance normally...
I think you have to balance that. Otherwise, you get a lot of people to just leave. Especially if you get a lot of ads.
Well, we try this again. Next run. Let's see what we get.
Also, I got a Razer ad.
Oh, nice. At least it's relevant advertising. Meanwhile, YouTube has to deal with whatever they're getting.
I was kind of like, wait, do you choose when to put ads, or...
I don't know. I think Twitch chooses it.
Oh, so it's random?
Yeah. I do the minimum to get the bump in ad revenue, just because I...
Jeez, 16 ads. It's literally a whole TV show.
Well then, this is going to be fun. Wait, am I explosion-proof right now, or am I only explosion-proof at close to my own...
That's crazy.
Ipecac?
The audacity.
If they have the ads on max settings, they're probably only getting 3 cents per stream anyway.
That's crazy. Was it a big stream? It might be a big stream. They'd be like, I don't care.
I still can't believe when I first got back into streaming on Twitch after being gone for so long because of their TOS being stupid for that brief period when they banned third-party or multi-streaming or whatever. Anyway, I got raided by Panga. Still can't believe I got raided by Panga.
I don't know who that is.
Panga is the guy who made the Pit of Panga levels in Mario Maker, which are like some of the most infamous levels in Mario Maker. He raided me with 446 people.
Oh, that's crazy. I think I was there. I think I remember that.
I immediately stopped being able to function as a human being, and my hands were shaking, and I was just like... It's like, oh my... Blah.
That's crazy. 100 viewers, and they did 18-minute or 8. What was it? 8 ads? 16 ads. That's crazy.
100 is still big in my opinion. Ooh, good job getting death certificate up, right? Blah, death certificate.
Oh, I was gonna say, I thought you got an ad for death for a second. I'm
like, no, death certificate's an ad. It's an Isaac item. I'm sure you know. You know much about this game, right?
I mean, I have it. I haven't played it a lot.
Do you have all the DLC for it?
No, I don't think so.
Death certificate requires you to get every single hard mode check in the game, but it's the best item in the game. You want to know what it? Can you guess what it does?
You don't die, or at least it's like a 1 life, 1 up.
It's actually takes you to a room with one of every item for you to pick any item you want in the game.
Oh, it kills you?
It doesn't exactly kill you, it just takes you to a room where you'd get any one item in the entire game. So, like, you can choose any item you want for the entirety, like, any item.
Well, Operator Win says it kills you, so...
Okay, so it does kill you, but it takes you to a room where you get to pick an item.
Oh, he's listening only. Oh, that's a new feature? Oh, what? How do you... It kills you and you...
Why am I only seeing...
Why is it saying you're listening only? Are you not looking at the stream? That's crazy. I didn't know this was a thing.
Who's listening only? Where? I don't see it.
Oh, I see like a little thing that says... It has like a little tag that says listening only.
Is that
true Operator Win?
Oh, okay, nice. I got restock. I like restock. Restock is good. Should probably put the music back on.
The game has music, no?
Yeah, it does. Have a good one, Operator Wind.
Bye-bye.
Operator Wind. Thank you for tuning in. But yeah, the music I chose to is I have like the I have a bunch of Sonic music mods in because last month was supposed to be Sonic month because I did all the Sonic-y stuff. But I ended up it was supposed to be September, but then I just delayed it to October because I didn't play any Sonic stuff. And then I decided to try and do some Sonic stuff. I tried doing the Sonic 2XL mod. And that's one of the hardest ROM hacks of the game. I'm sure you know that one. You don't know Sonic 2XL?
No, I don't really play too much Sonic games.
Why did that spawn 3 troll bombs? No, Sonic 2XL is a mod that replaces the gold rings with onion rings.
Oh, interesting.
And if Sonic eats too many onion rings, he gets fat and dies.
Oh, I see.
Like, it doesn't immediately kill you. You have to get, like, super immobily sized before you lose. But the game then becomes a mission to dodge as many of the rings as you can without dying. And it's freaking hilarious because the more rings you get, the bigger he gets, and the bigger he gets, the slower he gets, and the more other things he has to deal with. Like, his speed goes down, he can't jump as high, he can't do spin dashes after a certain size. There's like 6 different sizes.
I remember playing, what was it called? It was a Flash game. It was like a Zelda Flash game that had like not Sonic, what was her name? Samus in there too. I remember seeing those.
You're talking about you're talking about Zelda, The Legend of Zelda, The Lampshade of No Particular Importance.
No, I don't know. I don't remember.
It's the one where you have a giant trade quest in the village. At one point, you get the guy to eat the Happy Meal toy to get him to fall in the grave to get the thing, right?
Yeah, I think that's it.
Yeah, Legend of Zelda, The Lampshade of No Particular Importance.
This sounds very familiar. I'm pretty sure that's it.
That is definitely it.
Okay, I'm gonna use the restroom real quick.
Go for it, my special guest star. I figured it out. Why try to be normal to get views and audience members and stuff? I can be weird. Weird works. But as long as I'm the right amount of weird. I think I've cracked the code. Something tells me you're not... Something tells me that you are perfectly in tune to the conversation we were just having, weren't you? It's a fun trope to discuss, honestly. One key. It's always weird when I'm doing political on Twitter and I get a bunch of normal people.
That is return.
Welcome back.
Weird is nice. Yes.
I was discussing how I've found the perfect balance of weird.
Oh, I see.
Because I think I have found the perfect balance of weird.
And what reference do you mean?
I mean, my being out, my out there-ness.
Oh, I see.
Like the discussion we were just having about the weight gain trope.
Oh, I mean, I guess that's like... I wouldn't say average, but I see it like being like... Yeah, that is curious type of conversation.
Yes. You're not going to see that in many areas, unless you look for it specifically.
You know what it reminds me?
What?
When I watched Alpharad's video, I don't remember which video, it was a while, but he literally went up to one of his friends and said like, he was very kinky about it, of telling his friend to eat fries, and calling him a tubby B-word, and saying like, eat it.
What the hell is this video you're speaking of, and why have I forgotten or not known its existence?
I've seen it, and I was like, that's crazy. Why is it's like, I don't know.
Oh, also Chugga Conroy is playing Bowser's Inside Story right now.
Oh yeah, I saw it. I kind of wanted to play Bowser's Inside Story again, but I don't have it.
Bowser's Fetish Adventure, as I call it.
What?
I call it Bowser's Fetish Adventure.
I guess I can see that. There's like, he drinks a lot of water. Or wait,
no, there's literally every single inflation kink known to man in that game.
Oh, okay.
There's a scene where he gets castle-sized and fights a giant castle in a macro battle. There's the scene with the feeder boos that stuff him full of food and make him so fat he falls to the floor, and then now you're navigating the flab zone, which is where his adipose tissue is. There's the Blorbs virus, which turns the toads into blueberries, essentially. There's the moment where he's guzzling all the water, but he doesn't really get any bloating from that. There's the bros attack where Luigi gets enormous before body slamming the enemies. There's
I remember that one.
There's the time where Mario gets a bunch of water and turns into a balloon, and then you hammer him to spray the water. The list goes on and on. It is literally... I'm never going to not call it Bowser's Fetish Adventure.
That's crazy.
Ooh, lucky me. I can see forever's here. And a health up. And a shop with more curse rooms. Let's do it.
I'm not excited for tomorrow.
What's tomorrow?
I gotta help my stepdad with the roof, and I don't want to.
Acrophobia?
No, I just don't want to.
Okay, this is going to be really disastrous for me now. Because now I have Cursed Eye. Oh no. Cursed Eye is an annoying one to deal with because now if I take damage while I'm charging an attack, I teleport randomly. Like that.
I did not see any teleportation. Okay, now I saw it.
Too bad, so sad. Oh well.
You're delayed.
Let's try again. Let's see what we get this time, and hopefully... Nope, it's Dr. Fetus. We're good. All is well with the world again. He says knowing all is not well with the world again.
Firefox, what type of topic do you want us to talk about? What are your curiosities? I am curious of your curiosities.
If we haven't scared you away already yet.
Oh, stream isn't delayed for you.
That's good. Well, not too delayed anyway. Typical stream delay is what's going on, I have a feeling.
I mean, I would refresh, but I don't feel like it. That's fair.
Yep, as long as we are being cognizant of if we are weirding out the audience, we're good. It doesn't appear that we are. Hey, you're a guest star right now.
I mean, I can't do words right now.
You quoted Tom Nook.
Did I?
No, Ooh Firefox quoted Tom Nook.
Yes. I always picture him saying it really fast. Yes.
Words are indeed difficult, especially after you facepalm yourself so hard you think you gave yourself a concussion.
Well, it's also like midnight right now for me. I'm sleepy.
And you know why I'm very, not talky.
Oh, yeah, you told me.
I'm telling the audience.
I would recommend not being political on a stream.
Oh, I've already been very political. Most of my viewers are from other countries, so...
Oh, I see. I guess in my...
They're in Australia.
For you, that's crazy. Must be nice. I was like... Well, yeah, I guess not just playing, but you know what I mean.
What about just playing?
What was I saying? Oh, I guess my philosophy is to not politics, especially if you want to change their mind.
Yep, that's a interesting way to approach things.
Oh yeah, it's summer over there.
Go pet a blue-tongue skink for me. I wanted you to
summer?
pet a northern blue-tongue skink for me.
What is the opposite of Where are we in fall? Yeah, we're in fall. What's the opposite of fall? That's spring.
It's
Spring
fall
over there.
borderline winter here, so it's spring borderline
Wait.
summer there.
Yeah, spring.
Late spring, I'd say.
It's only spring.
We're talking about Australia here.
It's crazy. When I first learned that, I was like, "That's crazy." I mean, I have a master's, you guys. My words is good.
All I can say is make sure to get all that paperwork for U of I or wherever school you go to squared away within the next month. Ah! Why didn't I switch to Lost?
Squared away.
Squared away, as in taking care of, tidying up, tying loose ends, expedite things,
In terms of
expedite
what? I don't
anything
understand.
school related, because Department of Education is at risk.
Oh yeah, well, luckily, I'm hoping, I'm very hoping, they'll still pay me, which pays for my tuition since I'm going for D, so I should be fine. Especially that's gonna be my only source of for the next few years.
That should be, you should be fine with that.
Hopefully, because he's a crazy man.
Hey,
And for
why
some
was
odd
I
reason-
batting those away? Those heal me.
I don't know why people see colleges as bad. It is very scary, especially if you're me, a Latino man,
Latino, born of
Also-
immigrant family.
born of an immigrant family, also,
Not heterosexual.
exactly, yeah. And Democratic, well, I guess it didn't really matter, because even if I was Republican, I would still be in the crossfires.
Leopards eating face party doesn't care about what faces the leopards eat.
Exactly.
It's just very, very frustrating. And do you want to know the really annoying part about the whole Project 2025 stuff with Firefox? Somehow, the person running on the platform is able to say, "Oh, no, I'm not," and everyone believed him.
I don't understand people. That's why in my research, I'm like, no, we gotta change this. Because people, especially in religious setting, at least in America, I don't know about other places, are kind of
Crazy?
weird. Not crazy, misguided.
Indoctrinated.
In a way.
That's a good way to describe it. Indoctrinated.
Just an FYI, Firefox. My research, I always talk. If you get annoyed by it, bad. Let's keep on talking about it. My research is on spirituality, so I look into a lot of texts
This.
from all over the world.
All right.
I looked at Pacific Islander. I looked Eastern, Western, obviously, Indigenous, such as Mayan and Aztec. I think it's based. It's a reiteration, well, not a retext of someone else's writing, because it kind of seems.
Why are you lagging on mine?
I have no idea.
You can hear it in the mic, can't you? Or in the stream, right?
No, I'm not listening to the stream. I didn't want to hear myself echo.
But the echo would be a bit choppy.
I am spirituality. Oh, you're spiritual. A lot of people are spiritual. It's I've noticed that
Do tarot cards fall? Tarot cards do fall into the spirituality thing. You've done tarot readings from before. Why am I asking this?
I consider that oracle. I mean, it could be considered spiritual, but at least for me, how I describe in terms of Oracle, yeah, there's a lot of people who are being spiritual with religion. I made a...
Religion is actually more so the enemy of it, honestly.
But what I mean about Oracle is in terms of like a guidance system. How similar to the Eastern religions, Tao Te Ching, where you throw coins or specific, I don't remember the stick's name, but basically it tells you, oh yeah, you've done the Tao Te Ching. You literally
did several dozen of them in one day for various questions, because it's always fun to do those.
So basically, you ask it a question and it gives you certain advice. DJ did this, but he kept on saying this question to try to get an answer he liked, but the book roasted him.
Yeah, the book completely roasted me. It was kind of funny to listen to. It was funny to have the book roast me completely. So, do you want to know why I brought up tarot though? According to a bunch of like people who do tarot readings regularly, and this is like a bunch of them, and it happened to at once. And I don't want to give people in America false hope for this one, but there was a reading or 2 or 3 or 4 that ended up being like indicating and pointing towards something fishy going on with the election.
I mean, I always take those with a grain of salt.
Take them with a grain of salt, but several people got the same exact one simultaneously.
Yeah, like we obviously we can't know everything, and there's a possibility of it being true, but we don't, even if it does become true, we don't know if it's because of that or it's just pure coincidence.
Yep.
I only say that as in terms of...
That's always the annoying thing about it.
Researching it, because I can't really say, oh yeah, I believe that 100%. Otherwise, people won't take my work literally seriously.
But yeah, I kind of want you to do a reading. I kind of want you to do one of the coin reading things.
The Tao Te Ching?
Yeah, and a question I have.
Is it
right now, my
related
mind.
to the thing that I'm thinking of, or is it related to the thing that I'm thinking of, or is it something else?
It's not related to anything that we were just discussing publicly on the stream.
Okay.
And can it be a yes? I forget. It's a yes or no question, right? Or do we avoid the yes or no questions?
No, you avoid yes or no questions. It has to be like a giving.
Okay. So let's ask it a question and see what it says.
Oh, I can't. I'm not gonna do it right now. I'm too tired.
No, do it now. I wanted to do it. It'll be a funny feature of the stream.
Well, people can tune in tomorrow. Actually, I can't do it tomorrow either.
So do it today then, since I have you here. I have you now.
It gives them an incentive to follow, DJ.
But then if we don't follow through with the promises of you being there tomorrow...
Well, I'll give you a heads up.
Seriously though, just do it, please.
See, he's laughing. He knows.
Exactly.
He's thinking about following. No, he's thinking
He's
about
already
following right now.
He's already one of my regulars.
Oh, is he? Oh, okay, never mind.
Yeah, he's one of my regulars. He's been here for quite a bit of these.
He's gonna be back. I'll save it for like when there's a third.
No, it needs to be done in a timely manner. It needs to be done on the 9th of November.
Okay. I'm tired, and I
The
need
question
focus
is
to do
super
that.
time sensitive.
What is the question?
What do you think the question is after I just brought up tarot cards?
I don't know. I'm tired.
Exactly, it's the 9th right now, which is why I want to do it now.
I don't want to.
Aw. Look at him, he's like, he wants to. Don't you want him to do it to a Firefox?
Why is your head gone?
Because I have a giant spider in my head that pops out when I take damage sometimes, and then goes and kills things. And then I died. Okay. Starting to get tired of dying over and over again. Let's do this my way. And while I'm doing this my way, let's do that reading thing. What's it called again?
Unleashing. There's an ad break.
Oh, ad break.
Snooze.
You'll find the question once I ask it.
Found it.
The ad break's gonna be up in a minute. What's the question though?
They want to know my question. They'll find out the question when I ask it. I want you to answer, or to do the thing for the question when I ask it.
I gotta find my book. I don't even remember where's that.
Go find your book. I believe in you.
I am too tired.
I believe in you!
DJ, if I get up, I'm going to bed.
Damn it. Okay, what is it called again? Leafing?
Unleashing.
Leafing? What? Spell it.
Dao, what was it? DAO, DE, Ching, CHING. I think that's how to spell it. Oh, there's no answer for me either. It's crazy.
No, that's crossing. Damn it. I can't find it. I had one that we could use regularly for digital ones, but... Oh, what about Starfruit? Oh, what can I do? I can find it, right?
It calls you Spirit Fruit. Oh, there's an ad now.
Yep, you didn't hit the snooze button.
No.
Hard to believe this game is going to have multiplayer soon. After, like, 9 years of existing. Come on. Oh yeah, I said I was doing it my way. So I'm going to do it my way.
Oh no, this ad break's gone. I got 3, I think. I'm so tired.
Jing coins, that's how it is.
I got multiple ads.
You got multiple and he got one. Ching readings. Okay, so do I ask it the question first, or do I not ask it the question first?
You asked the question first.
Okay, let's do it. Okay.
What's your question?
It can't be a yes or no question. It has to be a not yes or no question, so I'm trying to figure out how to phrase this.
Yeah, it can't be a yes or no question. It's mostly to ask like how you should feel or how you should go about
Okay.
things.
What do you think about the results of the election?
I don't know if that would work. I mean, we can see what it says.
Way of Tao. You got G, action, regulate, Jean Glad the Wanderer, explore. Let's see. Life prods you to harmonize with the changes. Everything you'll ever need can be found within. Blah blah blah. Following history is first from teachers about acting boundaries, various structures, and thinking. G, limitation prevents opposite message. Anytime there's limitations, establish your own boundaries and situation from that. That doesn't answer my question at all.
I think the question was kind of weird because you asked it an opinion.
Yeah. Okay, how would you phrase asking a question about fraud and what's going on?
How should we think about the election?
Okay.
You asked the book the opinion.
Okay, how about this one? What hope remains in the election?
That's a yes or no question. Oh, no, it's not a yes or no question. Never mind.
Okay, you may want the situation to move more quickly, but it won't. It is unfolding at its own pace, which takes time. So everything is slowly going on in the background with nothing being public right now. Got it. When you pull nature forward without pushing yourself into the world, blah blah blah. Jian shows gradual development of how women followed a man to become his wife in ancient China. This would have been an auspicious outcome because she followed the proper steps. Her subdued and demure approach, embodying in, represents the idea of how success comes from a gentle approach. You may be feeling like you want things to move more quickly, but the situation will require more time to unfold and will require necessary steps to make it happen. The lines of this hexagram refer to a series of steps that are needed to rise to where you want to be. The geese in their grace and dignity symbolize this rising and a connection between organic and spiritual nature. They walk on land, float in water, and soar through the sky, revealing how follow the instinct, relying on surrounding elements to uplift us. We always arrive exactly where we need to be. There is no need to force your will on events.
Are you reading the right one?
Did it literally say just wait and see? It sounds to me like it said wait and see. It said be patient, things will happen at their own pace.
Hopefully it means we're not gonna be doomed.
It said patience. When I was like, what hope remains in the election? It's like, things will move at their own pace, you cannot make them go faster. It didn't say nothing is hopeful still. Can't deal with almost dying there, so... I'm doing a cheat run just because I was tired of dying.
That's Sonic?
Yes. Sonic Adventure music. Like I said.
Sonic just makes his appearance.
Yep. I have a freaking Sonic motherboard. I'm gonna always do Sonic stuff where I can.
No, I guess that makes sense.
Also, my brother got me a Funko Pop recently. It was Tails.
Who's Botrix official?
Botrix is the program that I use to keep track of all my subscribers and my chat and all that other fun stuff.
Oh, I see.
Tails is the chubby, adorable fluffback copter that carries the franchise. And the star of that art thing that I had to do for the past October. I used his Mobius 25 years later canon design, though. I still haven't shown you that comic yet, have I? Well, technically not a comic.
So.
Series of images. A brief synopsis of it is hijinks ensues when Tails wants to improve his marriage by buying a random book. Because remember, in the Mobius 25 years later timeline of Archie comics, he does have a wife and kids. Did you ever read the Sonic Archie comics?
No.
Guess it's not that well. You never read those?
Oh, man, I just had an idea on what to write.
Yes, use the Epiphany. Epiphanies are good. Or realizations, whatever they are. Wait, why am I blowing up random walls? I have the thing that tells me what walls to blow up. The Sonic Archie comics were a fun one to read. But then there was also this side story that was also part of it. You're talking about Fleetway Sonic the comic, and you're talking about the part where he meets Dr. Ovi Kintobor, accidentally drops his lunch into a bad egg machine, and then suddenly now... Well, now you have to deal with the stupid Eggman. I believe that's the one you're thinking of, right? Ooh, Firefox. But yeah, yeah, no, in the Archie comic verse, there's a future timeline series called Mobius 25 Years Later, where it shows the events of the comic 25 years later, obviously. At some point during the time period between that, Sonic and Tails had a falling out. He moved to the equivalent of Australia, had his own family. Sonic became king of Mobius, and Sally being the queen. They both had kids and settled down and stuff, and then some weird timey-wimey shenanigans happened. And it caused... Yep. And then it caused a bunch of ripple effects and disasters. So eventually they decided... Eventually Sonic has to go time traveling and stop a bunch of stuff from changing the past and future or whatever. And during which Knuckles is a dictator, apparently. Because of course the Echidna tribe had to be dictators and Nazis. Anyway, the results of all the time travel and stuff ended up allowing Sonic to reflect on how his ego is what divided him from his friends and caused everything to go to shit. Because Sonic is an egomaniac at the end of the day, we all know that. I have short-range bombs because of this incubus.
Can I finish the overall messaging? I just need to edit. I'll probably do that tomorrow though.
You've done good. You've done good so far. Yeah, continuing the lecture on the stuff though. So I decided to use that timeline of Tales to do that art challenge for October. And during which I got some really good practice in for a lot of stuff. Like storytelling, facial expressions, doing a nuanced execution of the trope in a non-fetishy way, while also simultaneously using the trope in a kinky way.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm half paying attention.
I was just talking about how I was able to execute the thing flawlessly as far as the whole art challenge I did goes. Tip clubs, extra bomb, extra boom boom, even though that doesn't do much. Holy card, we got the holy mantle for now. And the temperance machine, meh. But yeah, brief synopsis. Tails, feeling inadequate lately, decides to get... Oh no, you're being banished to bed. But I have to tell you the synopsis of the story first. Okay, anyway. So, the synopsis of the comic that I drew over the course of October, which isn't even really a comic, but it's more like a series of one-panel images. So the basic synopsis is that Tails one day is going shopping for books on engineering and stuff, and then he finds this weird book that is all about making bedtime more interesting for your spouse. And in the book, but the book itself is not like the typical book, because it turns out, or not does it turn out, it's easier to explain with the visuals for it, but I can send those easily. Anyway, the interesting thing is that there's like this thing that ends up... So basically what ends up happening is Tails and his wife end up trying out feeders and stuff, and it turns out to be really effective for making their marriage more interesting for some reason. Hijinks ensues because he slowly becomes super enormous and still was able to fly most of the time. And then it turns out that his son also is... The effects are rubbing off on his son, which he and Mina take great concern over and try to stop from happening, which leads to a bunch of things. But at some point, there's a sumo tournament that they enter, because why not throw your weight around?
It's like a fever dream, I'm not gonna lie.
Anyway, at one point Tails enters the sumo tournament, but lo and behold, the person he had a falling out with, Sonic, is there. And he just loses his mind at seeing the Blue Trader, because he absolutely hates him at this point. Because during the timeline, they are not on speaking terms even. He missed his coronation and a bunch of stuff. He didn't even see him off at the airport because of how much things had gone to shit between them. So anyway, why didn't I just do this? That would have been much more effective. Anyway, so with how that whole thing plays out, one sec. Spider mod. Of course, it's not the options that's cheap, it's the other thing. Anyway, so during the tournament, because Tails and Sonic are not expecting to see each other, Sonic doesn't realize how his arrogance is what caused their falling out and a bunch of other situational stuff. But Tails absolutely loses his mind and beats the ever-loving crap out of Sonic. And there's even a panel where he has left Sonic in the ruins of the city block that they destroyed during their fight. With some really good facial work and face drawing. Then there's the part where they have a reconciliation in the hospital while Sonic is horribly maimed and injured with a bunch of casts and bandages and stuff. And they have a reconciliation and realize that because Tails only needed to hear him apologize for being an egomaniac in the original timeline anyway. So that's how I chose to portray that. So then it's revealed that then they ask why they ask each other why are they so fat now. And that's when Tails discovers that Sonic also got a copy of the book that he got that led to his adventure with his wife in the realm of feudalism. And he deduces through math that it is highly unlikely that they both pulled the same activity out of the hat. Because it's like a 1 in 400 chance out of the 20 options that they put in the hat to pull the same one.
I'm gonna stop you right there. Firefox, are you following any of this?
I believe they are. They might be. I don't see why not.
They should went to bed.
No, they're still there.
He said yes. Okay, continue. You lost me.
I haven't lost you. But anyway...
No, I have not been paying attention.
You paid attention to the whole them having a reconciliation and finding out that they both ended up with the same book with the same activity, right?
You can tell Firefox. I'm lost.
So anyway, continuing onward, at that point that's when Tails starts to deduce that things are going a bit crazy. And also at that point Tails is not there to see Sonic, he's there because they're trying to figure out why his son will not lose the weight anymore, will not stop getting bigger. Because it's starting to concern him. Where it is then found out that because they touched the book, that's what triggered the hormonal imbalance that caused the weight gain in the first place. And so Tails decides that after he is done with the family trip to Japan that he won from the sumo tournament, and the space mission that he was doing, because there's also a side plot about a space mission, that he was going to investigate everything, because by that point Sonic would be recovered enough to do it. But anyway, he, as he's getting off the spaceship, or as he's getting off the aircraft that they were designing, he gets stuck in the doorway, and one of the engineers who also appeared earlier in the scene, or in the comic, is also now a little larger than before. And they're talking about something, and then he's like, "Oh, did you also get that book by Otto Tamago?" And... which one do I choose? What the hell kind of room is this? I'm taking the D6, because I can always change fate. Anyway, so he hears the author's name and then decides to go find Rouge, who... Knuckles and Rouge were recommended the book by Sonic, and also, lo and behold, Knuckles was also impacted by the whole weight gain thing. And,
is this something you made, or
yes.
is this something you read?
Something I made. This was the whole October art challenge that I did. I'm just giving you a brief synopsis of it. And so he goes to Rouge then she tells him basically after he tells her that he needs information on the author because she's the best spy he knows. She hears the author's name and is like, dude, that's just man, egg, in Japanese. So it turns out the book was actually made by Eggman in the first place as part of a plot to get some sort of revenge or something on his enemies. And it is through the research that Rouge uncovers that their falling out was orchestrated by Eggman in the first place. And this whole entire thing was an elaborate multi-step plan designed to let them have their own families and then eventually destroy them and then take over Mobius while they are dealing with the loss of all the stuff that they had that they enjoyed not being the thing anymore. Anyway. So this pisses him off a lot, needless to say, and he goes and destroys Eggman. And I did a really good job drawing that panel as well. Afterwards, he's finally figured out the cure to the book, but for some reason, his wife still doesn't really mind the whole thing and keeps feeding him pie. And all's well that ends well for Tails. The end. But the nuanced execution of actually having the whole comic get recontextualized by one panel is always a fun one to try and do. Like the overarching lore and plot. It's definitely... I'm
curious.
I'm gonna send it to you, actually.
that was my curiosity. How did Firefox join?
How did Firefox what?
Did he join just on Twitch, or is he from your other
just
channel?
Twitch.
Oh, I see.
I think. I can't keep track of that stuff. I know that they're a nice person who watches me and also plays Isaac, and for some reason still have not gotten past the 3rd floor in Isaac.
How was the Firefox? It was a question for DJ. It was a long talk. I memes, I sleepies.
Yeah, you should probably get your rest after you tell me what you think of the comic. After you read the comic, I mean.
I'll read it.
I'm sending it right now.
I'm barely gonna be able to read it. It's 1 in the morning.
There you go. 1, 2, 3. Wait, which day did I forget? I know I forgot the day. Which day did I forget to send? No. No!
I'm ahead of bed, DJ. Good night.
Fine, you do that.
I'm so angry about it.
I'm just saying, fine, you do that. You're good. You're good to go.
Bye.
I'm just being funny.
Bye, Firefox.
Say bye to everyone, or say bye to Daniel. Bye, Daniel. And remember, if things go horrible... Nope, I'm all alone. He already left. Oh well. Good night, guest man person who I played Baldur's Gate with at one point. We had a session where we played Baldur's Gate every Thursday and Sunday, but then we beat Baldur's Gate, and now it's just Crippling Isolation and Binding of Isaac. I was doing a Baldur's Gate Let's Play, but it wasn't getting as much attention, so it didn't really go that far. But I got to do a lot of stuff like that. Anyway, if you want to see the comic, then I can link the comic page 1 in chat. Why not? It'll be on my FA. Because why not? I have no reason not to. We're at 188 followers on Twitch.
Yeah, not bad.
Man, I said I was doing this my way. I need to get greedier too. Yeah, there's your link to the comic if you want to check that out. I don't doubt that you have access to that website. Or should I say it's a sequence or a series? What would you classify it as?
All right, let's go.
Yep, you have to go and hit previous to get to the next page. Oh no, ads. Welcome back. So basically on that page you want to hit previous. Yeah, each page is a panel. So you want to go through the whole gallery. This is possibly the most powerful synergy in the game, honestly.
Level up.
This is only the beginning.
Be advised, he gets really big. Oh, I should probably grab the key in the gold room also.
Not bad.
And remember, his son gaining the weight is meant to be played seriously. Like a something is afoot type thing. No! I'm gonna go to the bathroom real quick. You'll have read the sequence by the time we get back. There we go.
And I'm back. I've been away for a while, but I'm back to kick some butt at Wild Canyon. I shall find
I found the trinket item. Also, be advised if you're looking for high quality in the comic, only the structure of it has mild a bit of quality. It's kind of a. It was kind of all rushed because it was one of those draw one a day for 31 days challenges. Was that a greed mode exclusive item or enemy just now? What? What the hell was that?
That was cool.
All right.
Yeah, this is perfect.
Welcome back! I had nuanced execution of tropes and stuff, I hope. Hopefully I was able to do it properly. What was your favorite panel, and did you enjoy panel number 19? Day 19, or day 17, 18, 19, I believe, was where Tails and Sonic fought, and then the hospital reconciliation scene. That one was a lot of work. For some reason, I tend to be good at drawing a battle damage Sonic. Thank you for enjoying the comic. I'm glad someone enjoyed the comic.
Balls of steel.
Oh no, I don't want that one. Yeah, that is the main thing that I was trying to accomplish, was making a comic that featured Waking as a central trope, but also didn't use it in a way that would make it not something someone can normally, like a normal person, can enjoy. Well, that simplified everything. To some extent. I'm glad the humor was able to land. And I'm glad I was able to do a nuanced execution of having a serious side plot featuring the same trope in a non-sexual way. It turned a bunch of side gags and stuff later into, like, some really interesting twists on stuff. And I don't want Eden's soul. Well, that works. Last year I used Rivali for the same challenge. I forgot. Ouroboros Swarm is Ouroboros Swarm. Bleh. Ouroboros Swarm isn't the best for the synergy. That's annoying. It's interesting how psychologically humans develop like that, how our brains change slowly. Stuff that we once look at as being icky, gross, weird stuff eventually then becomes stuff that we look at as, oh, that's actually kind of interesting how the nuance and execution of it is. Like, beyond the basic kink stuff of it, it's like a lot, there's a lot of nuance that can be found in some of it. Weird that I'm having a talk about this, but hey, look what game I'm playing. I'm trying to not pick up Ouroboros Swarm. Yeah, there's ways to draw fat grotesque and draw it not grotesque. It's all about the execution of it. In fact, that's actually how... And that's actually something I was making sure to keep track of while doing the comic. Because I drew the way Tails... Oh yeah, same here. Because I drew the way Tails grew bigger slightly differently than I drew the way his son got bigger. And I'm sure you can tell there was that difference. I'm free! Free of Ouroboros Swarm, finally. Okay, that's an unintended effect. It's like one of those Super Smash Bros. Melee... Oh no, get well soon. Or get even better soon. It's like one of those Super Smash Bros. Melee, black hole glitches. They all just died instantly? What? You're not supposed to do that. It's weird how some sicknesses activate more at nighttime. Steroids don't work forever, unfortunately. Spear Sword ruins the soul synergy. Hopefully it stops the tigers from getting you. Doctor is useful. Eek. Hopefully it's not UTI. Kidney stones are a little easier to deal with if I remember correctly. Unfortunately, I have IBS sometimes, or mild gluten intolerance, and most of my favorite foods include it. Isn't it funny to just watch all the enemies get vacuumed into that like it's a vacuum? Where is your pain on your body? Front or back? Kind of by the navel, right? Okay, you've had your appendix removed, right? Because that's usually where the appendix is. If it feels like someone is stabbing a burning knife through the area below and to the right of your navel, that is appendicitis most likely. Or it could be. So my recommendation is stop what you are doing and go to the emergency room and get checked out.
Experimental pill.
I'm no doctor, but if I remember correctly, you kind of want to catch that sooner than you have, because if it explodes, all that infection goes all over your insides, and it's not good. Because for some reason we have... Did they tell you your appendix was fine? Did they check it? Ah, did they check for that though? As soon as the door shut, it opened. It's funny. Yeah, burning knife through your abdomen to the bottom right of your navel is definitely something you'd want to get checked out. Go back to the ER as soon as you physically can. Like go now instead of waiting. Because if you wait and it is a ruptured appendix, then you have a lot more worse on your hands to worry about. Because it can either be a kidney stone or appendicitis. That's how that sounds, honestly. Like, Mega Satan is all that remains in hard mode. Yeah. If you're on a lot of painkillers and the pain is still super intense, that means it's probably most likely that. Mega Club. I'm not a medical expert by any means, though. But apparently furries have been much better at medicine than some doctors as far as diagnosis goes. Okay, but when you first started it, was it a 10 out of 10? And is it a 5 out of 10 on a scale of 1 to 10? When it started, what was it? And is it numb because you're on painkillers? Fortunately for you, ruptured appendix isn't a guaranteed death sentence, it just means a lot of recovery time. Okay. You know what this reminds me of? This reminds me of the double cutter ability from Kirby 64. Okay, it might not be your appendix, but keep an eye on that, because, you should definitely go to the hospital. Because any of that abdominal pain, it could be a number of things. It could be a lot of things. So seriously, prioritize getting your ass to the ER as soon as possible. Top 10 times streamers save people's lives with medical advice. Number 10. When you're in unbearable pain in the waiting room, recommendation, you should tell them how unbearable your pain is. Make a big show out of it. Usually they'll see you faster, or at least that's how it works in American hospitals. Yeah. When my brother had his, he was very, very stoic about it, so you could also have just gotten used to it and not realized it. So the adage is better safe than sorry. I mean, you're not dealing with a funnel web bite here, but like, better safe than sorry. Days. Okay, that's strange to me. Then again, it's Australia, and I guarantee lots of people get injured there. Sounds about right. Keep forgetting that United States healthcare is different than the other healthcare in the world. Closest I can think of is that we have Medicaid, and I get free health insurance and stuff depending on how much I make, but our medical stuff, at least yours, doesn't bankrupt you when you get sick. Ours is like several $1,000s just to have an ambulance pick you up or get an x-ray. Well, I recommend you take care of that right now. I'm going to stop my stream and go to bed because it's 4 o'clock and I work in a little bit. I want you definitely to go to the ER though, or... Whoops, why did I close that? Now I can't see you.